guys, this is Indranil. Welcome back to our YouTube channel Webskitters Academy. So in the last video we have seen that how we can hack the credentials of the social accounts and from different websites as well using set toolkit. But obviously think that if you don't have that set toolkit present or it is obsoleted from the market, then at that time we can use our basic website knowledge and the skill of our coding to do the same. So for that, in the live video with the demonstration, we'll see that how we can use the PHP to steal the credentials of any social account. So here in the video, Sampat Banerjee, again one of our most prominent student of Webskitters Academy, will demonstrate that live.
So in the previous video, we saw that how hackers basically get your credentials via phishing pages, and we used a tool known as AC Toolkit. It's a very widely used tool, and it's very popular among the black hat hackers. But I said earlier in the previous video that we do not want to be a script kiddie, which means that we do not want to rely on other people's programs or scripts. As a hacker or as a ethical hacker, we must know how to make our own tools, how to make our own softwares to help us out through our problems and hack the process. So to know about it, to know how to make tools, we need to first understand programming languages. So there are varieties of programming languages. Hackers generally use Python to make their scripts or tools. And as this is a phishing web page, we'll use programming languages or scripting languages known as HTML and PHP. And so we need to know how programming languages work and how we will use it so that we can make our own tools and we'll be self-dependent basically. So let's see how it will happen. So over here we can see that I have already created two files known as index.php, id.php, login.html and login.php. But before all this, let's start from the beginning. So let's suppose I'm a hacker and I want to make a phishing page of facebook.com, as we have done already with AC Toolkit, but I want to do it manually. I want to make that phishing web page, I want to harvest those credentials using my code, not some other third-party codes. So to be extra sure about the credential harvesting process. So let's start from the beginning. So as a hacker who is trying to make a phishing page of Facebook, obviously we'll get inside www.facebook.com. So let's get over here. So let's open facebook.com. Over here we can see that we have the login page of Facebook, and so the first thing we need to do is check the source code. So let's right click on it and select view page source. So over here we have the complete page source. So we'll copy its entirety. So let's just press Ctrl A and Ctrl C. Minimize this. And over here I have already made a login.html. So we need to make a file known as login.html. So I'll just make another one to show you that how we're going to make it. So just create document, empty file, name it as login.html, create it. So there's an HTML file that is created. Let's open it and paste the entirety source code of the Facebook login page. So over here we can see that it's basically a lot of things over here, but we need to figure out the exact thing we need to change. The thing we need to change is the login action. So first we need to find it. So press Ctrl F and search login. slash. So over here we can already see that there are only two login actions in this whole thing. One is over here, the login, which is known as just title login to Facebook. So this is not the one which we need. We need this one, where it's given as a token of the login action. So we'll just do the whole thing from one post to another post. So we'll just copy the whole thing. Copy the whole thing and make the action redirect to login.php. This is the only thing we need to do with the source code. So what this is doing, this thing is doing is basically it's taking the entire source code, which means the entire web page we have seen for the Facebook login. It's taking the entirety of the thing and it's basically redirecting to the login.php file, which will be present in our folder. So as you can see that we are basically redirecting the whole thing to login.php. So you must be wondering that we first need to make a login.php first. So over here, yes, we need to make a login.php, and let's see the code which we need to write in the login.php, which will help us gather all the credentials from the website. So let's cut this. We need to just close the script because I have already made one for you. This is the login.html. So we need to get the code of login.php, which will harvest the credentials. So let's do open with mousepad because it will be easier to look. So we have opened the login.php and I have written the code already, so that it doesn't take much time for you to see the video. So over here we can see that it's basically a PHP commands, PHP programming languages, and over here we have seen that we're giving the header of location facebook.com, we're giving a handle which is log.txt. So basically what will happen that when we will open the video, when we will give the credentials, when the victim will give the credentials, we need to see those credentials, right? We just not just only harvest those credentials, we need to make those credentials become visible to the hacker. So we need to make a log file. So what this line is doing is basically it's creating a log.txt with all the information, the username, password information from the victim, and these are all the rest of the programming language, rest of the commands which you can see. We will just upload this whole code blocks in the description. It will be easier for you to copy and paste it that way, but try to understand each and every line. It will be very essential for afterwards. So now we have completed the login.php. As you can see over here that we have given the location facebook.com. So if you are trying to make a phishing page of Instagram or Twitter or anything else, so already obviously first take the whole source code of that login page of that website first, change it so that it redirects login.php, and in that login.php instead of location facebook.com, if you are trying to make a phishing page of Instagram, make location:instagram.com. This is the only change you need to make if you are trying to make something else. So now we have done the login.php. We need an user agent information page. We need to get the user agent information, which means that IP and which browser and everything. So we need to make that also. So over here we'll see that what is written in ip.php. So we'll make a file which is known as ip.php, and the contents of that file will be this. So over here we can see that we're getting HTTP client IP with the remote address, the user agent, and over here we can see it will create a file known as ip.txt. with all with the IP address, the user agent, the browser the victim is using, with all this kind of information. As we have seen at our previous video, the AC Toolkit one, that we are getting just not the username password of the victim, we are also getting all of the information of the victim's browser. So we're just trying to replicate those features, and to replicate those features we are going to make an ip.php file, and this will be the contents of the file, and we'll create an ip.txt file in that same folder with all those information. So now we have login.html, login.php, which we will redirect to the ip.php, which will give us all the user agent information. And after all this, if you have done any sort of web development, you know that we need to make an index.php page to just gather all those different web pages and PHP pages to one. We need to bind it together. So it's basically a simple code which you can see over here. So over here you can see that we have just included ip.php, header.location.login.html, and we have just exited. So this is the only thing you need to write in index.php. You can pause the video and try to understand those each and every line, or copy it in your terminal. So it's completely up to you. So after this has happened, you just need to close it, and in this folder we have the complete credential harvesting phishing page of Facebook. So how are we going to launch it? How are we going to get the credentials? So it's very basically simple. So we'll just right click over here, open terminal here, and in the terminal we'll just write this is the only thing we need to write over here. As you can see, the PHP server has already started. So it has started a PHP server of the IP address, which is basically the hacker's IP address 192.168.72.130 with the port number 4444. So it's running a PHP server over here. So it's complete website with login with an HTML and the PHP page for both backend and frontend. So we have completely successfully started this website, phishing website. So how the hacker or victim actually, how the victim will access it. So let's head over to the Windows 7, and over here we'll just write 192.168.72.130.4444. Let's load it. And over here we can see it's completely a ditto web page of facebook.com. We can see that there is basically no changes in the total website, because as it is handmade, or you can say it's completely tailor fitted to our requirements. It's basically flawless over here. It's completely new and updated. No, as we are not depending on any sort of third-party tools, which may be not updated for a while, which may have wrong Facebook pages or different regional Facebook pages, as I've seen with the AC Toolkit one. As it is basically tailor-made, we can basically see that this Facebook web page, the phishing web page, is basically completely similar and completely replicates the actual facebook.com login page. So over here we will just give an email address known as maybe victim123@gmail.com, and in the password we will give password 12345 and press login. Over here it just says 404 not found, the request resource facebook.com was not found on this server. But over here in the Kali, we can see that the log.txt file has already been generated. So let's open the log.txt and let's see what it consists. So over here we can see that we have the email address, which is victim123gmail.com. Over here you can see that, and in the password we can see the pass equals to password 12345. So it's giving us exactly the information or the credentials we have supplied in the phishing web page. There is no harm in it. And over here, if we check the ip.txt, we can see that we have the complete user agent information, IP address, browser, everything we generally get from tools like AC Toolkit. We have complete information over here. So this is the way it will work, and this is how you can make your own phishing web page and using simple programming languages like HTML and PHP. So as we have seen now that how the hackers can make basically phishing pages of any websites that you browse or you go on to, and with a bit of social engineering they can basically manipulate you to give your credentials to this phishing web pages. As you have seen that I have created a PHP server. So this will only work if it's in the same Wi-Fi or LAN network. If you want to give this website link to a different computer which is not in the same network, it won't work. To make it work, the hackers generally use services like ngrok or Cloudflare tunneling. So they basically use that to basically give this unique address over the internet, and 10 out like at least 5 out of 10 people gets trapped in this sort of schemes, and they basically give all their credentials, maybe bank credentials or Facebook credentials, and they get compromised with the security. So in the next video we'll see that how we can use that Wi-Fi card which we have used earlier, the alpha card, how we can use that to basically get all the information from the users which are in the same network. So see you in the next video.
Hopefully you have liked the video. In the next video, we'll see that how the eternal blue can lead to sacrifice the whole system. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share with your friends and family. It's for the society. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe our channel to get the latest notification on the ethical hacking and cyber security, and hit the bell button to get the latest notification, and also follow our episodes. Hopefully everyone is enjoying that. Thanks for watching.